Hi, I'm Nancy O'Neill, and we're back with Season 4 of Aging Gracefully, bringing you even more tips on living a longer and healthier life. This week on Aging Gracefully, we learn about a new spa in Sarasota helping you lose weight in a whole new way, plus important medical screenings to ask your doctor about, and tips to combat senior isolation. Body Balance Sarasota is a technology-driven spa utilizing LED light technology to help you achieve your weight loss goals. And here with more on this unique local business is consultant Morris Alexander. Hello, Morris. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Tell our viewers what Body Balance is and why it's not a gym, but it's a spa.
Well, it's not a gym, it is a spa.
Fat loss spa.
Fat loss spa. We use technology. Everybody uses technology today, so why not use technology to lose body fat? And so we are the only ones in Florida with this state-of-the-art technology that works. All you have to do is you just lay in a bed in a relaxing setting atmosphere and just basically let the technology do itself.
Now when you say lay in a bed, is it a full body bed that
It's
you
a
lay
full
in?
body bed, and with this technology, you can pinpoint where you actually want to lose the body fat. If you want to lose it just in your lower body, your midsection or upper body, you can adjust the buttons to it, but you can get the whole body, and it's just amazing.
So you say also that diet and exercise is not the only answer when it comes to stubborn fat, right? Because we've all done that, and we still have the body fat.
The problem with doing just dieting and exercise is that you can't pinpoint exactly where you want to lose the fat, especially as you get older. And most people want to lose it in their midsection or wherever. But with this technology, we can pinpoint it exactly where you want to lose the fat. We open up the fat cells with our technology, and after you go for a brisk walk, pinpoints that area, and we guarantee the results.
Now, how long is each session?
Each session is 20 minutes. It's 20 minutes of relaxing, laying in the bed, focusing on whatever area you want. You can do the whole body. It just takes 20 minutes.
And it's kind of a meditation kind of time, right? You have music going on.
Yes, we have nice, easy listening music. We have kind of like an aromatherapy that's going on, and it's just very relaxing.
So do you suggest this in conjunction with diet and exercise? How does the combination work best, would you say?
Being that we don't do a dieting regimen, we don't want to take away from what you're doing now as far as what you're eating. The technology does it for you. Eventually, we will make some recommendations to your diet if we see that you're not eating the right things or not drinking enough water. But overall, the technology is just amazing. That's what does the job for you.
Now, because we talked a little bit earlier, and you had said something about the benefits last for a couple hours after you've had your treatment. So it's not just the 20 minutes that's in there. There's an extended period of time. Is there any benefit to that?
After you do the red light therapy for 20 minutes, take advantage of that 2-hour window, 4-hour window by doing some type of cardio. If it's walking, riding bike, because those fat cells are open now.
There you go.
Once those fat cells are open, that's why we don't recommend that you go eat or anything. Drink plenty of water, do the cardio, and it's putting you, basically what the red light does is put you in fat burning mode. The regular cardio does that, but it takes about 25 minutes to do it. This puts you in that mode. Go do the cardio afterwards, and
you get much better results.
Better results.
So speaking of results, this is our little elephant in the room,
Yes.
for lack of a better
Some
description.
adipose tissue, subcutaneous fat, that is 5 pounds of fat.
5 pounds of fat.
5 pounds of fat.
How many pounds can someone lose during the course of your regimens?
We guarantee at least 5 to 26 pounds, 5 to 26 inches.
Yeah.
Up to 6 weeks.
Okay.
So you're going to lose inches. If you're losing inches, you're going to be losing pounds
fat
too.
and fat.
You can't be so much focused on the weight. It
Yep.
has to be the inches because
Sure.
you want to lose fat.
The fat, and that's what you're talking about.
That's what you wanna lose,
Okay,
is the
so
fat.
next we're going to look at a few success stories. Can you tell us about your clients?
Yes. The clients, I have at least 3 clients right now that are going through the system, and we have one gentleman that was a military person. He lost a total of 20-something pounds, and all using this technology. He had tried to do other things. With most of our clients, they've tried other things didn't work.
Sure. And,
And they have to, this is what they resulted in doing.
And then your next client?
Next client, same thing. They were looking to lose inches
Yeah.
over a long period of time. They had tried other things. Person just came to us, and they are basically the same.
They're on the right road now. Okay.
And this is, keep in mind, this is long term. This
Yep.
isn't a short term
Yep.
thing. This is a long term, and the fat stays off.
Okay. Yes, that's important, because we all
Yes.
know how the weight doesn't stay off. You sound pretty confident about this technology.
Yes.
Okay, and you even have a success guarantee?
We have a guarantee.
What's that?
Our guarantee is the technology works.
Yes.
You come in, we have a staff that helps you, guide you through the whole process. We make sure that you, especially like after a few sessions, we make recommendations to your diet. And if you do the sessions,
Right.
come in on a regular basis, it's basically being consistent.
Right.
If you're consistent, we guarantee the results.
Okay. All right. Now, I know you were going to mention some special offers you have for our viewers today.
Yes, we have special offers right now for the first 50 callers. If they call us, you get a free consultation, which will consist of a body analysis, which is going to be a body fat checkup. We're going to do body fat measurement, water check. We're going to check your whole system, and then it gives us a guide to go from to with your program.
Okay. Now, but it's hands-free, so it's a scanning that you actually do, right?
Yes, non-invasive. You lay inside the bed. It targets the area whatever you want to.
It'll show up like what, red
Yeah,
lights?
it's
where
a
the,
bright
where the
red light.
fat
You
is?
wear glasses.
Yeah.
It's FDA approved. No injuries, no side effects, but
All
it
right.
works.
Well, thank you for being here, and
You're
we're going to
welcome.
run your information across the bottom, and
Thank
I'm
you.
going to be one of those first 50.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thanks for being here, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Next on Aging Gracefully, we check in with Sarasota Memorial Hospital to see which medical screenings we should be asking our doctors about. We all know that eating right and exercising can help us lead a healthy lifestyle, but that's not the whole story. And joining us now with medical advice on how to improve the quality of life is Dr. Karen Hammond. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Our first episode of our 4th year on Aging Gracefully,
Wonderful.
so it's great to have a doctor on to
It's
give
great
us
to
some
be here.
insights. Life expectancy is on the rise, and many people are living into their 90s and well beyond. And is it purely genetics that determines longevity, or are there other components to that, doctor?
Well, I would say that certainly genetics plays a part in someone's life expectancy. But to be honest with you, there's so much more to living a healthy lifestyle into your 90s. And I like to say here in Sarasota, we don't just survive, we thrive all the way into our
Absolutely.
90s. I think some crucial ways to help people do that would be to emphasize forming habits in their 40s, 50s, 60s that they can continue to have throughout their later years. Not just eating right and exercising, which everybody preaches, but things like staying busy and connected with their community. I think a big pitfall, people tend to look forward to retirement. They retire in their 60s. They've not fostered any hobbies. And then they end up being bored, actually, and maybe even isolated socially. And those two things are big risk factors for depression and all of the negative connotations that come thereafter. I think it's important to maintain a relationship with your physician, a primary care doctor. Make sure that you're staying on top of all your preventive requirements, which we may talk about a little bit later. But honestly, staying in touch with your body, continuing things like mindfulness, whether it's yoga or Pilates or even meditation, things that keep you centered on the present, that keep you active in your life, avoiding any type of social isolation, whether you are in fact volunteering, mentoring young people, working in the community, whatever you can do to stay busy. I think all of those things help keep your brain sharp.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I mean, that's why I think a lot of people are in their older years are working longer.
I agree.
And I think that's part of what keeps them going because they're stimulated.
I had a patient yesterday, she's 72, and she was so excited. She'd just gotten hired as an accountant.
Oh my gosh.
And she was thrilled about her new job. And she actually went out back into the workforce because she had been told that she needed a knee replacement and couldn't be on the golf course for the next 6 months.
Oh
so
my
she
gosh.
thought she'd go crazy if she sat at home. So she went and got a job.
Good for
It's
her.
wonderful.
And
It's
that's-
wonderful.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's it. You need to stay active, and I think what you said earlier about starting when you're younger, starting in your 40s and 50s, and cultivating something that you enjoy,
Right.
and just being social.
Yes.
Just being social.
And being connected
Yeah.
is really important.
Okay. Now, what other steps can we take to stave off the conditions like heart disease and diabetes and cancer and dementia, which is such a huge problem?
Sure. Well, for the heart disease and diabetes, I think diet actually and exercise play a huge role in that. And again, cultivating those habits early so that it's a lifestyle choice, so that it's not all of a sudden your doctor telling you have to drastically change the way you live.
Or eat, because
Exactly,
nobody
and
likes
eating
that.
for most of us is living.
Exactly.
And so those are very important things. I also think it's important to stay physically active, not just to prevent diabetes and heart disease, but to keep our bodies strong. So to find something you like to do that's a mixture of aerobic exercise, muscle strengthening, and balance, because you'd be amazed at how many 80, 90-year-old patients, their lifestyle has to change drastically because of a fall.
Yeah.
So if you can stay on top of things like balance and muscle strengthening, on top of just your cardio, I think that really does help keep things under control.
And what about the dementia? Will
So,
that
okay.
also?
I think for the dementia, the two most important things to do are to keep your mind active. So if you're retired and you're sitting at home most of the time, pick up a new instrument. Go to the local university and take a class. Pick up a new language. Start a book club. Do something that uses your brain
Yes.
every day in a new way. And the exercise piece for dementia is key also.
Okay, all right. Now, what are the most important things? This is one of the things we mentioned when we opened. What are the screenings that you recommend for people, and what age should those screenings start?
Yes, and that's a conversation I have routinely in my medical practice. So for women, I would insist on mammography, colonoscopy, and vitamin D, bone density type checks.
Okay.
People tend to come to me and say in their 70s, I don't need those anymore. And the new guidelines from the United States Preventive Task Force actually state that if you're going to live another 10 years, you need to keep getting
have them.
screenings.
Okay.
So that's an important thing to remember. And
All
for
right.
men, I would say colonoscopy, prostate, and don't forget to get your flu shots and your pneumonia vaccines.
Okay, yes, pneumonia vaccines, very
Yes.
important. I get those. Now, there's been a lot of conflicting recommendations about mammograms and
Yes.
prostate screenings.
Yes.
What can you tell us about your thoughts on that?
So you could probably find a guideline to give you any answer you wanted. But what I tend to practice and preach is mammography every other year, colon screening every 10 years if you're low risk and your last colonoscopy was negative. And for men, periodic prostate screening, because there's a lot of false negatives and complicating factors that go with that. And again, the key is if you're going to live another 10 years, keep getting screened.
Okay, good. Good note to end on. Thank you so much for being here and all that. Very important information.
Thank you.
Coming up on Aging Gracefully, we learn how to cope with senior isolation. Senior isolation is an issue that becomes more prevalent as we get older. However, there are ways to combat feelings alone, and here with more is Samantha Lefebvre from Inspired Living. Hi, Samantha, welcome.
Thank
Did I
you.
say your name correctly?
You said it perfectly.
Lovely, lovely. It's such a beautiful name. I hate to mispronounce it.
Thank you.
So begin by telling our viewers about Inspired Living.
Well, Inspired Living is a senior living company, and we specialize in independent living, assisted living, and memory care. And I would say the thing that we do best is take care of moms and dads.
Okay. Now, independent living, so you have apartments, condominiums. I mean, how do they differ a little bit?
Apartments, suites. We have a beautiful location in Lakewood Ranch with over 14 acres of land, a swimming pool. It's like a cruise ship on
lovely.
land.
It is beautiful, yes. So people have a lot of flexibility when they move into your facility.
Absolutely.
Okay. So our topic today is senior isolation, and
Yes.
what would you like to tell us about that?
Well, did you know that actually 30% of our population here in Sarasota is actually above the age of 65? And within that,
Yes.
46% are actually living alone. So those are the folks that probably don't drive any longer. Maybe they don't have family that lives in town, or maybe they don't have any family left at all. And so those are our folks in the community that we worry a little bit about with senior isolation.
Okay, and what exactly is that, and how do you know whether you're experiencing that?
So
Or do you know?
You know,
you're experiencing that?
if you don't have the means to be able to transport yourself, so maybe you don't have a driver's license any longer. If you find yourself eating alone, it's hard to get to your appointments, go to the grocery stores. Things that used to be no trouble at all suddenly become a daunting task.
Yeah, and overwhelming.
Yeah.
And the older you get, I mean, I see it in my neighbors, so it
Yes.
is a common thing. What can you do to help break up social isolation?
Well, at Inspired Living, what we do is we try and create as many opportunities as we can for people to develop companionship and fellowship. As humans, we weren't programmed, our brains weren't wired to be alone. So, you know, it makes it a little bit more troublesome when you are alone. And so we provide transportation. We create moments where we can bring people to the theater, out for dinner, to bring them to their appointments, their grocery store, to go see their friend. We also have a wide range of wonderful activities that come into our properties and our communities as well, that are engaging and uplifting.
Like,
so that's
like
helpful.
what? Like what's that?
So we have live entertainment, live music, we have parties, we have magicians come in. We are really involved in the Sarasota arts community. So we have an improv group that comes in and works with our residents, and it's just a lot of fun.
It is, and it's a beautiful, beautiful community.
Thank
I
you.
was fortunate enough to tour it last week.
Thank you.
Now, for our viewers out there, I'm sure I know several people, I'm sure a lot of our viewers do. How could our viewers help people that they know that may be suffering from senior isolation?
Sure. Well, I think one thing to keep in mind is if you ask your neighbor, how you doing? Is there anything I can get for you? They're going to say no. Most people will say no.
Exactly.
We're all afraid to ask for help.
Right.
So I would
Or it's
suggest.
embarrassing, you
Yeah.
know, to
It
do
is.
that,
It can be, exactly, especially when you're so prideful and you're used to providing for yourself and doing everything on your
Sure.
own. So I would suggest that we all be community minded and strive to be 1% better every day. That's something that I learned at Inspired Living. That's our motto, and we do it every day. And I think if all of us as a whole in the community can do that, that would help a lot. And what that looks like by being 1% better in the community is don't ask, just bring a meal to your neighbor. Invite them over for dinner or to church. I, for instance, have a neighbor who's 84. She lives down the street. And my favorite thing to do on a Friday after I get out of work is to go down and spend some time with her. And she loves my children, so to bring the children around. And I don't ask her, we just do it. And you can see that it's a positive
uplifting
impact
for her.
Yes.
Sure. And that's it. It's the simple things that you can do. It doesn't necessarily have to be sending flowers or bringing flowers.
Yeah.
It's just, or even picking up the phone.
Exactly. It's
you
simple.
know, and seeing how are you doing today.
Absolutely.
So all of these, we should be mindful of this because we are, again, you said, in an aging community,
Yes.
and a lot of younger people, find themselves maybe not engaging as much as they could. So as far as a community as a whole, what can you see our community doing to kind of change this?
Well, I would say it would be nice if we could become a little bit more intergenerational. Invite your neighbors to participate in church groups or community groups and involvement that you know what's going on, and just be aware.
Right.
Be on the lookout.
Tell us a little bit about specifically some of the activities that you offer at Inspire Living.
Well, so we have fitness clubs at Inspired Living. We have. Yesterday, I witnessed a dancing drumming circle that was really unique and cool.
That you brought in for the residents to see.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have painting, we have art projects, pet therapy.
Oh.
Yes, and that's really fun.
And your residents can have their pets, is that
Residents
correct?
can have their pets.
I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's very important.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
I mean, that alone combats senior loneliness.
And you have a putting green, I saw. And
We have a putting green,
your
which is
swimming
wonderful.
pool. So
yeah.
there's a range of things, and I'm sure if one of your residents asked, that you could probably accommodate them if they were musically inclined. You have a piano, I know, at one of them, right?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
we do.
all of those opportunities are out there. And for more information, where should our viewers go, Samantha?
For more information, you should check out our website, inspiredliving.care, and contact the number below.
Okay.
And don't be shy. Reach out to me, anybody, and come on in for lunch. We'd love to be your friend.
Great. Thanks. So nice to meet you.
Thanks for having me.
I'll see you next time.
Sounds great.
Thank you for joining us on Aging Gracefully. Find more episodes throughout the season on snntv.com. Join us next time for more tips on living a happy and healthier life.